Hello everybody, I hope you're having a lovely day. I'm trying something new today. I'm going to show you off some of my makes. Some of you may know that I'm kind of not brilliant on social media. I always forget to share things. Alma tells me off a little bit. So I thought it might be better to maybe schedule in the diary some vlogs, because there's nothing I love more than either sitting and watching YouTube and seeing people's new makes, or scrolling through on Instagram and seeing people's new makes, but I don't share them myself. So hopefully we're going to do some periodic vlogs of what I've been sewing, and that's going to keep me a bit more accountable for myself and for you guys to show off what I have been sewing in the last few months, or however long it is between vlogs really. So I'm going to start off with this guy. So this you might have seen if you're a Stitch School subscriber, because I used this shirt in one of our tutorials about the Amy shirt. So this is an Amy shirt, but it is actually a very early version. So usually if a pattern comes back from the graders, so the person that makes it all into all the different sizes, and then I'll usually make a version for myself very early on to test out the pattern again and to just sort of check everything sitting how we want it to. And actually on this shirt it wasn't perfect. It's a little bit snug on the back, and we added some more room in, and we added some more room on the collar as well, because when I do it up it sort of doesn't sit quite right. So that's like a really important point of testing once you've got the pattern back, because obviously patterns are usually made in a set size first, a 10, and then you get all the different sizes afterwards. And because I'm not a 10, it's a really good opportunity for me to test the patterns out. But do you know what, I still love this shirt. So this is I think it's a cotton lawn or a cotton voile. I got in a Guthrie and Garney sale, maybe at Christmas. I've not had it for too long. But also I was saying about Stitch School, because I use this shirt to work out a tutorial for how to do a split button placket. And I still can't say that. I'm going to come up close so you can see. This button placket here does not have buttonholes, but it has, ooh, where's the next one? I can't find the next one, I'll just go back up to this one. It has a little gap in the middle for the buttons to go through. So what you do is you like sew two pieces along a seam that is then in the middle of that placket, but you leave little gaps, and then those little gaps, there we go, become your buttonholes like that. So it fits fine, it just wasn't perfect. So this is, yeah, my newest Amy shirt. I have been mostly wearing it as like an overshirt like this. I do have to warn you that actually all of my makes are pretty monochromatic this time round. I like sewing black things, what can I say? I get the mick taken out of me a lot in this office because of it, but you know what, they go with everything. And I've made an effort today and worn my pink Peggies to get a bit of light, a bit of colour in, and I've got a white top on. I could have gone with a black vest, but no, get a bit of light. But I think when I started sewing, my main goal was not for people to think that I made my own clothes, but for people not to notice, because they just looked kind of slick and nice and neat. And part of that for me is maybe choosing fabrics that, I don't know, aren't more high street, but are, you know, black is a very regular colour that you'd buy in a shop. And also, do you know what? I really like wearing black. So bear yourself for lots of monochromatic makes. So other things about this Amy shirt is it's also a hybrid. So it's got the scalloped collar, which you can hardly see in this bonkers print, but it's got pleats at the back instead of gathers. So that's version 2 and version 1. And then I can't even remember what cuffs it's got. It has got roundy cuffs, yeah. So that is version 2 as well. So with Amy, you can kind of mix and match which features you want. It's also got this cool cuff without a placket, so you save yourself, I'm going to say, a solid hour or so of sewing time without having to do that. It's just got a pin tuck that neatly helps your cuff fold over, but also I really love it because it's nice and flat, and then I can roll my sleeves up like always. So yes, this is actually my first, I was going to say my new Amy shirt, but this is the first one I made, but I'm just bringing it into the mix because it's one that I haven't shared yet. So lovely Amy shirt. Okay, I'll be back in my next black and white outfit. And I'm back in another newbie, another black and white newbie. This is the bunny blouse. I really love the bunny blouse. I've got quite a lot of prints I'm noticing here. but you can't really see the details. I'll come up close. So Bonnie's got this really gorgeous flat collar, and the way the instructions are done, you end up with such sharp collar points, which is so nice. And then actually, if I undo this top button, you should be able to see. It's all, you've not got a facing here, it's done with binding to enclose that edge, and binding is my absolute favourite. So that's always appealed to me. And then it has a button placket, so my buttons are in here, and it's got this extra bit of fabric that's sitting over the top there. You've got a little waistband with this little notch at the bottom, which is adorable and just gives you a little bit of extra length. I mean, with Peggy's, it's absolutely perfect because it is a waisted blouse, so it ends quite high and obviously works with more high-waisted things. So you sort of, I've been wanting to wear it with my Xanthi skirt, but Peggy's is perfect. I think it would look gorgeous with Nina trousers. But yeah, this little waistband just gives you a little bit of extra coverage, and because it sits open like this, and it's supposed to do that, it means when you sit down, you don't feel like really restricted around your waist, because I know a lot of sort of waisted things, you feel a little bit tight around here. But this just allows it to sit really comfortably. And you've got a little puff sleeve and a cuff on the sleeve. That is what I was going to say. So with my bonnet, what did I make? I just made my usual changes, which is bringing the shoulders in a tiny bit. I could have brought them in a little bit more, but actually I think it suits the style of the blouse to have it a tiny bit wider. I did an FBA, so usually I would choose a size 18 and then I do an FBA, so essentially it's around a 20 in the bust, but it's an 18 everywhere else. Other details is that it's gathered into this waistband, so it's not super tight at all. I thought it might be a little bit pulling across the front, but it's really not. And then you get gathers at the back as well. So I really like the back, how kind of neat, how sort of blousey it is at the back. It just hangs over this waistband, really nice. If you can see, maybe if I lean back you can see that. But yeah, Bonnie was a little surprise hit for me actually. I've been kind of lusting after one. We've got this gorgeous sample that we always take to the shows, which is an absolute favourite, and I've always thought maybe it's not for me. Basically kind of wasn't sure how it would sit on a fuller bust and whether it would suit me, but then Alma made one and I got jealous, so I wanted to make one, and it is a surprisingly quick make. There are different options. You can do it with pleats in the front, and you can also do it as a dress as well, which is obviously going to take more time, but this version, this is the kind of plainest version, no pleats, and obviously it's a little top. It's so quick to make, so I think I did it across 2 evenings. And if you're savvy, if you've got some scraps, you can get it out of quite a small amount. I had to do that because we only had a remnant of this fabric, and my waistband is pieced, so this would usually be one long piece, but actually I've got a seam at the centre back and seam at the side seams, but that feels normal, so that doesn't look out of place. And also my under collar is seamed as well at the centre back, but it goes to show what you can get out of some scraps if that's what you have hanging around. So this is a viscose, which works really well for Bonnie. You could do it in a cotton as well. It'd be very cute, very crisp. And at time of recording, we did have some kits in this fabric as well, and some in Alma's fabric as well. So there is in the fabric that Alma made her Bonnie in, if that makes sense. But we'll pop a link to them below. They may have gone, but they may still be there, because I am finding this is just like such a good work blouse. I've gone, yeah, with Peggy's today with the pink ones, but I've got some black ones, no surprise, that I was wearing it with as well, and it worked out really well. So this is make 2. I'm very pleased. I don't have another Bonnie planned just yet, but I think coming when, obviously it's getting warmer at the moment, and I think when we start to get colder again the other side of summer, that's when I will start thinking about making more Bonnies to wear with Roxy over the top and really like have the collar poking out, because that will be really lovely. And so yeah, I think that's probably my only Bonnie for the moment, but that is not saying that there won't be many more in my future. Okay, make 3. Ooh. Make 3 is something again I have not made before, And now I've made it, I'm like, why the heck did I not make this before? Because it is a Sylvia robe. I'm obsessed with this. I love it. The pattern is so quick and easy. So I actually sewed this last night, and when did it, I think it took me maybe about 20 minutes to cut out, max 2 hours to sew. It's such an easy little make, and I love it as a little overcoat like this. So I think this will see me into the summer, or I can imagine wearing it on a really hot summer's day, but in the evening once things have cooled down. I think it just adds a little bit of pizzazz to sort of a plain outfit as well. So I mean, I really like wearing, like Amy, an overshirt over kind of a tighter t-shirt underneath, and I love this kind of floaty nature of it as well. So it's got these really big hems. They're like 4cm hems on the sleeves and on the bottom of the Sylvia robe, and it also has a longer length as well, which I think would be great like with shorts and a t-shirt and sandals in the summer. And we also have an add-on pack to make it into a dressing gown as well. Jemima made it into a dressing gown and just off her own back, and we thought, do you know what, let's run with that. That's great. So you can do that with it as well. It's such a handy little pattern. And this is a viscose linen from Fabric Godmother, and it's really, really soft. It's got a nice weight to it, which means it's perfect for Sylvia in that it kind of drapes, but it isn't too heavy, but you've got a slight linen-y texture. I don't know if it much will come across on camera, but it's got these big suns on it, which I love. But it's kind of lighter than I thought it would be in a good way. The only thing that I think I'd think about more if I was making it again would be evening out the design on these panels here. See how this has got like a full sun on it, but this one has just got sun's rays on it. And I think, looking at myself in the camera now, I maybe could have evened that out so it looked a little bit, I'm not trying to pattern match or anything like that, but just so it looked a bit more symmetrical. But that is me being the pickiest of the pickiest persons, because I really, really love it. And perk of the job, obviously, as the boss, is that I got some extra of this fabric. So we do have some in stock right now. I'm definitely going to use some for a different make, but there'll be at least a few meters popping on the website, I think. And I think you could use it for so much stuff. I'm very tempted to make some culottes out of it and have like the ultimate summer swishy outfit. Just like really drapey, a little bit kind of hippie-esque, soft sunglasses, big earrings, that kind of vibe. But it would work. I think the other thing I was going to make out of it, but changed my mind, was the Viola blouse. So Viola is a blouse and a dress. The blouse version is little, it's waisted, it's got a shirred panel at the back, it's got a flat collar that folds out, and I think this could work beautifully for that. It's definitely light enough for sharing. I wasn't sure if it would be, but it is. But I think that would be lovely. Also penny, maybe the penny tie top. I wonder if I can do this actually. This might look quite nice. Yeah, this, oh okay, I'm into this as well. Yes, I'm definitely gonna wear this like this. So yeah, penny tie top would work because it totally ties, but that would look really nice. So there's lots of stuff you can make with it. I think I am gonna go with my little bit that I've got left with some coordinating bottoms maybe. But there is a lot to sew at the moment. So there's three big things happening at the moment actually. We're in the run up to a photo shoot, and we have those maybe like 3 or 4 times a year depending on what's going on. So there's one coming up in just under a month. So it is all hands to the sewing machines. I can see my samples over there, and I have made 3 so far. I think I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 at least left to go. So, you know, I'm on track. I'm not stressed yet. There is one pattern, there's always one pattern that, because we work in batches, that comes through the process a little bit later. So there's always some last minute sewing. But getting ahead on the stuff we've got is the way to do it. What else is going on is that we have, actually last week we filmed a whopper of a Stitch School class. So this will be a class that's going on Stitch School Premium. I've been editing it this morning and it's one of the biggest classes we've filmed in quite a while. It's going to be a proper masterclass. It's going to be an ultimate guide. So if you think similar to the ultimate guide to trousers, but a different type of clothing. So that's going to be huge, which is really exciting. It's really nice to sit and edit it and see it all coming together and sort of see what it's going to look like at the end, because obviously you can film it and you can plan it, but until you sit down with the footage and put it all together, you don't kind of see how it's going to look together. So that's exciting. There is more Stitch School stuff coming over the summer, one of which our wonderful Chloe is filming, and I'm just pointing to the chair that she sits in the office. She's not here, I'm here on my own today. You might have seen her film the embroidery class, and hopefully you'll agree that she is a natural. She is a teacher by trade, so obviously she's a natural. So there's a summer class coming out with Chloe at the helm, and we've of course got a new pattern coming out soon, which might have been hung up here the whole time if you spotted her in the background. So I'll probably be showing her off next time, actually, because I'm not allowed to properly show her off yet, but next time she will be in the mix probably. So yes, there is lots going on at Sew Over It. Is there only 2 things? Photo shoot, editing, no new pattern. That's 3. So that new pattern is going to our Pattern Insiders very soon. So that's our lovely gang of people that make up the patterns ahead of time, ahead of the release date, and share their versions. So I've got lots of work on to get that ready and send to them. So there's 3 big projects on at the moment. And then of course, over the summer, I may have hinted at this before, that there will be another big project that we are churning away at, and that is of course our next ebook. That is just ticking over. Not going to say anything more. I might say a few more things. I'm going to meet with Julie next week, who is our pattern cutter for this ebook, and finalise some things. But we have had a twirl fitting for 3 of the patterns, and they look so good, and I can't wait to make them. I'm very, very excited. I've got some fabrics in my stash down here ready for them. So that will be coming at some point. I'm not saying a date because it'll probably change, as these things always do. So yes, these were my newest of my new makes. I'm going to keep on top of this. I'm going to keep coming back and chatting to you all and showing off my new makes, because it's going to make me a bit more accountable and a bit more used to sharing my things. So if there's any feedback you have or anything you'd like to see, or any words of encouragement, I would love that, because then that will help me get back in front of the camera to show off some more things. Not even to show off, to share some more things. If you do like this fabric, there are a few meters of it after I've had my extra cut, so have a little look for the links below to that, and I'll link all the patterns and stuff I've talked about as well. If there are any bunny kits left, I'll pop the link there as well. But otherwise, I think what would really help me is if I could have some ideas on your sewing plans too. So if there's anything you're making, or there's any fabrics you're thinking about getting, then do let me know. I love a bit of sewing chat. And before I go, I just wanted to shout out to one thing. Obviously, I've done a lot of my monochrome makes. Maybe that's what this series should just be called, Rosie's Monochrome Makes. But if you do want a bit more colour in your vlogs and some jazzier makes, then do check out our very own Alma's YouTube channel that she's just started, and I'll pop a link to that below, just in case I get the name wrong if I say it out loud. So that'll be below in the description as well. But otherwise, thank you very much for sticking to the end of my very first mix video. I'm really into this Sylvia robe as a little tie top. I think that's going to be my outfit for the rest of the day. And I'll hopefully see you very, very soon. Bye.